slightly different weekend. Still great weekend of golf. Played way more golf this weekend than I have done so far this year, but managed to capture less content. So I'm already failing at this pretty visibly. First of all, went up to Birmingham to see my brother. He's big into golf. And we kicked off the weekend by playing the Derby course at Belfry. The Derby course is okay. It's very much the third course at the Belfry. You know, you've got the Brabazon, you've got PGA, and then you've got the Derby course, which is like, you know, the forgotten about little brother. So wasn't too worried about capturing content there. We did, however, go for a fitting, and I think that's kind of what I want to focus on. When I say we, my brother went for an iron fitting. His reaction to it was fantastic. It's exactly what I was hoping for.
What were your thoughts going into it?
Make sure I can hit some good shots to make sure I can get some good data, because the round we just had was awful. And I guess also as well because I just snapped the head on my 5-iron on the range warming up for it. My thoughts going into it was I probably need a new set of clubs.
So it would have been a pretty easy sell for them.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I was interested to see, because you've done your custom fit before with Precision Golf, and I always remember watching that video and seeing what a difference just changing shafts made and all that sort of stuff. So I was really interested to see when they started doing that with me, if it made a difference, because I just really didn't understand it. You can see the change, but I couldn't understand as a relatively average golfer, well, incredibly average golfer, couldn't understand how the shafts would make such a difference. So he had me cycling through some different heads from different manufacturers a couple of times, and then kind of whittled it down to 2 or 3, and then we started looking at the shafts, and basically switched me out to this 120 gram KBS shaft, and yeah, just felt more stable. I could go at the ball a bit more. Didn't really increase my swing speed so much, but I think that's probably just down to being a bit, maybe a bit tired from the round of golf we had, I don't know. But what it did do was, and it was just so clear as well, what it did do was the dispersion of the shots just instantly shrunk, which was great to see. So that was a real tick in the box for me. Yeah, so my thoughts were, it kind of feels like the shaft's been the biggest change. So going to stiff, going to 120, felt like it made the most difference.
Was it worthwhile then?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm glad I did it. Seeing the numbers was really good as well. I'm not a big numbers person, but learning to understand the numbers a little bit more is really helpful for me as well, because I think it adds something to what someone's telling you. You can actually see the changes you're making. I mean, you said, for example, at one point, attack angle's a bit, just not that great. So I wasn't coming down on the ball, compressing it enough. So I was like, fair enough, okay, I'll think about that. And then you just see the little, you make a little change, just slight setup adjustment, and all of a sudden you just literally see it change on the screen. Yeah, so really helpful seeing numbers as well.
It's beautiful.
Then on Sunday we went to play at West Midlands Golf Club. To be quite honest, didn't know a huge amount about the course before we went there. The only thing I did know is that it is home to the longest hole in the UK, or in Great Britain. I don't know, the two things are different. But it's called the Devil, which, if you're going to make it the longest hole, why not call it the Devil? It's also called the Devil because from the white tees it plays 666 yards. From the back tees it's like 720 yards, and it is a par 6. So that's pretty funky. As a very quick summary, the par 5s are a mammoth. The Devil is quite fun in the nicest way possible. I do feel like maybe some of the par 5s, they're so long that they're a little bit gimmicky. I'm not a particularly big hitter, and when there are so many long par 5s on course, it gets a little bit boring. Like, I'd rather have a couple of long par 5s and then balance that with some like mid-length par 3s. Whereas in reality, what this has is a load of long holes and then like some tiny little par 3s, like a lot of them were kind of 130 yards and under, which, I don't know, it got a little bit repetitive. I really liked the course, don't get me wrong, I did really enjoy it. and it was in absolutely fantastic condition, particularly given like the weather we've had. I want to give it a second chance and see how it goes, and hopefully do a proper content day. So that's kind of it. I played a lot of golf, didn't create much content, but here's the video anyway, because I said that I would keep creating these videos, and this is keeping me accountable. I promise these will get better. They're all a little bit firing from the hip at the moment, but there are more things in the works. I promise. Yeah.